Be honest, when you think about going to the airport, does your brain immediately go to worst case scenario mode? Like, what if I miss my flight? What if I go through the wrong security line? What if I accidentally break an international travel law I didn't know existed? If that sounds familiar, welcome. You are among friends. Today we're talking about the most common airport fears first-time travelers have, and more importantly, why you really don't need to worry about them. Airports can feel intimidating, but once you know what's actually happening, they are way less scary. Let's get into it.
Dream vacations start here.
Let's start with fear number one. What if I miss my flight? To be honest, this is a fear most people have, even for some of the most experienced travelers. And that is because of the unknown of what happens next. But here's the truth. Airports are built for people who are running late. There are signs everywhere, staff everywhere, and announcements constantly telling you what's happening. If you arrive early, especially if it's your first flight, you've already eliminated most of this risk. And even though something does go wrong, flights get delayed, gates change, airlines deal with this all day, every day. Missing a flight is inconvenient, but it's not a life-ending event. You won't be the first, and you won't be the last. If you should end up missing your flight, don't panic. Just talk to a gate agent and they'll get you rebooked. Sometimes airlines will rebook you automatically if they know you're going to miss your connecting flight due to a delay. That's why downloading the airline's app will keep you updated on any flight changes that may occur, and even better, allow you to rebook your own flight when a delay or cancellation happens. Let's move on to fear number two. What if I get lost in the airport? Airports are big, sometimes crazy big. But here's the thing. Airports are basically giant flowcharts. You're always being funneled in the right direction. You'll see signs for check-in, security, gates, baggage claim over and over again. And if you do get confused, you can ask literally anyone. Airport staff, gate agents, flight attendants, and even other travelers. Everyone has been lost in an airport at least once, including myself. It's practically a rite of passage. I like to look at an airport map before I arrive at an airport just to give me an idea of where everything is located. And if you have a map app on your phone, it'll help you find your position within the airport. Fear number three, what if I mess up at security? This one causes a lot of stress because security feels very official. But TSA agents are not sitting there waiting for you to mess up so they can yell at you. Most TSA agents are actually fairly friendly and are willing to help you, but you will at some point run into a grumpy one, and who can really blame them? When you're constantly repeating the same things over and over again all day, every day, I think you would get a little grumpy too. If you're unsure about anything, always ask before you go through the security process. That alone eliminates about 80% of security stress. The agents will be giving out instructions on what you should be doing, so be sure to pay attention to what they are saying. In general, you should be placing all electronics larger than your cell phone in the security bins, your quart-sized bag of liquids, and any belts that you may be wearing. If you have anything in your pockets, those will need to be emptied and placed in your bag or in the security bins. I do have a couple of videos that walk you through this entire process in greater detail, so be sure to check out the video description for the links. Fear number four, what if I don't know when or how to board the plane? Boarding may sound chaotic, but it's actually very structured. On your boarding pass will be displayed either a boarding group or zone. Now, depending on if you're on an international or domestic flight, boarding can start as early as an hour before the flight is scheduled to depart. When the boarding process begins, the gate agents will call out which group or zone can board the plane, and it will be also clearly displayed on the screens near the gate. When your group is called, get in line and present your boarding pass to the gate agent and simply board the plane. If you try to board later than your group is called, it's no problem. But if you try and board before your group is called, then you'll be asked to step aside and wait for your group to be called. Let's move on to fear number five. What if everyone knows I'm a first-time flyer? This one might be my favorite fear because it's completely internal. I promise you, no one can really tell. The only time I know when someone is new to flying is when they go through security, but only because they are completely unprepared for the process. If you kind of know what you're doing, then it doesn't even register to anyone. When I fly, I know there are plenty of people traveling that day who either don't fly very often or it's their first time, and so I set my expectations accordingly. I know there will most likely be delays at check-in and at security, and so I give myself plenty of time to go through the process, as should you. That's why I also make videos like this one to help those of you who are new to flying to not only educate you, but so that you have a better understanding of what to expect and hopefully reduce some of the anxiety and stress that you may encounter when traveling. And then fear number six, what if something goes wrong? Here's the most important thing I want you to hear. Even when things go wrong at the airport, like flight delays, cancellations, gate changes, delayed or lost baggage, there's always a next step. Airports are designed to solve problems. There are people, systems, and processes specifically for fixing issues. Now, you may not always like the solution that is being offered when something does go wrong, but in my experience, knowing what to expect when something goes wrong can make a huge difference. For example, if I know there's a weather event taking place that could impact my flights, I can either rebook my flights for another day or at least choose a different connecting flight away from where the weather is occurring. Or if I have to fly into a storm, I know there will probably be significant delays and I set my expectations accordingly rather than being reactionary when things go wrong. Having a backup plan is always going to be in your best interest. Not every flight you take will go smoothly, so you have to account that things will go wrong every once in a while. If you take anything away from this video, let it be this. Airports feel intimidating because they are unfamiliar, not because they are dangerous or unforgiving. Every single traveler that you see, they were once exactly where you are. Nervous, unsure, and overthinking everything. They all made it, and you will too. If this video has helped you, check out this video I have on first-time flying tips that will save you some stress, and let me know in the comments what airport fear worries you the most. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a like, and I hope to see you again in a future video.